Welcome back to this another live session for the Thursday NY session coming up. Unemployment claims. Are you guys ready for another big session here? Welcome. Waiting for all the members to show up here for this session, and we had successful session in our previous one. Looking forward to find another session profitable here. First of all, we're waiting for everyone to show up. Thank you for joining here, and if you guys are here, smash the like button now. Smash the like button. Welcome. Let's begin. Ready? Say yes in the live chat if you are ready for this session. Are you going to be bullish or bearish? This is a very important question at the moment. The market is in the middle. On the daily chart, if you look at it, left a long wick on both sides. Thank you. We have previous session was pretty successful. We secured scalping trade with 20 pip move. Now looking forward this session as well to have some move here. Now we can see the market might move in both direction. Here I'm looking at for potential entry and possibly to have some upside bias. Now looking at first of all daily chart, we need to first do the analysis. Thank you very much, appreciate it. Now looking at the daily chart, guys, what do you see? That yesterday's daily candle was rejection from this key level of support. This is a daily support here, right? And the market has left imbalance, but at the same time we see there is rejection from the lower price. So today's market so far, after opening on the daily, the market has tested the lower shadow, rejected back to the upside. Now with that unemployment claim coming in 15 minutes, let's see where the market potentially to be heading here, because with that movement with unemployment claims there could be significant move in this market. You can see that coming up in just 15 minutes, final GDP on dollar as well as unemployment claims, and that news is quite important because based on the data we could see that movement on DXY. If you look at the DXY, you can see that as expected there is an upside bias early today. Also I have posted analysis on DXY and the market is in fact pushing that back above here. So with the movement on DXY, we can see some bullish bias with some hope came from yesterday's speech that you can see. And the market, you can see that here is the price, euro dollar also reflecting that move. I have already posted analysis and you can see the market is showing up that move on DXY that you can see pushing back to the upside. So that is potentially putting pressure on little on gold, because gold is long-term bull market. But I think here, if you guys look at it, you can see there is a long wick here. Now first let's understand the daily market structure, because if we look at the overall trend on gold that we are looking at in terms of the daily market, this is long-term bull market. And if you look at very interestingly, we can see the market is approaching this daily trend line here. So this is where, as the market approaching this daily trend line, as the market reach that daily resistance, are you going to see a downside here as DXY is showing an upside bias in that area? That being said, we have now two key important levels that you can look for potential selling for potential buying here in this market. So looking at the daily chart, that you can see from the daily, this is the daily market where the market approached that resistance line, expecting that the price to potentially reject back again to this support level where there is a triangular pattern in that area. Looking at the 4-hour here, that you can see the market in this lower time frame from the 4-hour chart where the resistance line, that you can see there is a liquidity gap drop to that support, and then the market has reached that level where the resistance line, the price approached that key level. And what we can see that in that area, the market, this is the daily level that we can see today's high, and if the price is going ahead to retest that high, we might see that there potentially be another wave of drop or bounce of that level. Which one is likely to play out? Let's see that 1-hour chart. All right, so here is, this is the 1-hour market structure. We see there is a long wick here from the 1-hour, followed by this current hourly candle trying to push back to the upside. Are you going to see a new higher high or rejection back below? That's the question. Do you think that gold is going to break that high or it's gonna drop down here? All right, so this is where the key question here, right? Because the market on DXY is so far showing upside momentum, which should be in a mirror effect on gold. And this is the daily low that we can see. We'll be drawing both level on the gold on the daily as well as high and low. So this is the daily low, this is the daily open and close, and this is the daily high here. The possibility in this market to revert back, how much probability that you can see? Market gonna be bull. I am bearish gold, potential back of yesterday's low. Probably only might break to upside if the news is bearish for gold. Otherwise resistance. Okay, so what we see guys here on gold is, this is the daily low, right? And what I think the market may not be able to create a very new higher high. Instead, what we could see that the market to potentially reject from a higher price to the daily low, or reject from this daily low to the high. So this range here is significant. If you look at around 315 pip range on the daily, and looking for the market to potentially break that high here. And it is, for me, less likely that gold will be able to break that high with this current 4-hour candle to create a new higher high. So that means if the market going up to hit current session's high with the news or without news, this is where we can look for potential short-term sell, because series of lower high and the market is approaching that key level. There is a doji here, expecting it to break that low for another impulse back below here in this market from this for this intraday support level. Are you guys with me? DXY and dollar yen highly bullish yesterday, and today they are fairly up today as well. hence why I think we go. No, so if DXY is bullish, we can expect some downside on gold, right? This is the rule of thumb. So that means here is a bounce, and from the 1 hour we can see there is a test of this support level, which is an order block, and from a long wick candle on the 1 hour chart. That's the next candle that you can see. We don't see a very stronger rejection back to the upside here. Instead, we can see that 4-hour candlestick pattern, that the candle is closing with potentially long wick here, and that is what we are looking at for this news coming up in a couple of minutes, for the market to spike potentially up. And if the market goes up for a spike, possibility to drop back to this daily support is higher, and that means daily high. If the market tests the daily high, we might see a test of this daily trend line. This is what we can see here, and with this test of this daily trend line, we can see the price potentially to crack that resistance line, and then to break that high, and then to return again to this support level. Now, in case the market, if you look at the daily chart on gold, if the spike come back here to this low, we might see another bounce. So this range to the high and the low of the daily is where we can look at the moment for potential entry after the data has come out. Now here you can see this is 15-minute chart. There was a breakout structure which is potentially showing that bullish back to the upside again, because this is a false breakdown, and that might push that price above here. Now how far the market later going up, it's the spike will tell us. The spike goes up with the potential drop on the XY, we might see that the market to potentially return, and there is a series of lower high here. If you look at, you can see that. Okay, so this is a series of lower high, which is from the, if you look at the 15 minutes, you can see series of lower high, and with this series of lower high here, gold potentially to return again back below here in this market. So this is where you can see the market in that area, the price series of lower high with a long wick candle, and if the spike up, we'll see the market to break down here to that support level. Are you guys ready for this move here? Thank you for joining this live session. I absolutely appreciate your support. Here as you can see, the market is trending, and we would like to see the price has crossed that high and then rejected back again below to this support level. Welcome, and we can see the market is, we have only 2 minutes to go for this news to come up, and expecting the market to test that high and then to reject again back below to this support level here in this market. So waiting for the price to show up its results. That you can see series of lower high formation here, and with this series of lower high, expecting the market to trend back down here to this key level of support here in this market. Waiting on that to for the price, 1 more minutes to go. Do you think the spike going up? The news is going to buy to upside, 2 minutes to go for the down. Yep, that's what we are looking at here in this market, for the price to potentially reach that level to create a new higher high. Spike down. Initially, what was the data has come out here, that you can see here in this area. So you see that final GDP, unemployment claims came out to be less than forecast, so that has given boost on potentially on DXY, and that's what we have seen, that reflected on DXY was in a bullish move, that you can see. And that move, that you can see the market is showing up in that area on DXY, which is going back here on gold, and we can see the market, as we discussed, that it spiked back down from the lower time frame, that you can see it's complete drop back below here in that area. So you can see this is the lower time frame price action, where the market is showing that the price is heading back below with a long bear candle. And what we can see here from this lower time frame, the price is showing that the market to potentially drop down here to this support level. So this is where you can see the market is to revert back again to this support level. From the daily, we can see there is a rejection, and we might see now the price to retest the daily low and then potentially to reject back again to the upside here in this market. This is what we're looking at on gold, to potentially drop down to that potential support level here. We can see some downside with the news, and if this directly coming back to this daily low, we can expect potentially another rejection back above in this market. So if you guys look at it, you can see the market started to trend back down here from the lower time frame here, which is showing that potentially bearish move. So for the time, where we can find our entry for this market, to as it started to trend back down, we may see the market to potentially come back to this daily low here in this market. Looking at the 1 hour market structure, spread became normal. We will be looking for potential entry. It's a complete breakup structure here, and with this breakup structure, that you can see the market is at the moment is in a trend, in a downtrend here. And with that downtrending market structure, what we are looking at here for the market to trend back down to this support level to create a new lower low in this market. Here's the market showing up in that area for this possible break below, and 3755 level is the current session's high, and we can see the market slowly moving back here and expecting it to break that daily low, potentially to create a new lower low in this market. So from the 4-hour chart, as we expected, the market start to trend back down here, and what we are expecting here, the market to trend potentially to create a new lower low in this market. Okay, we can see the market showing that potentially bearish move here. So we will be looking for selling opportunity from the high for possible drop back down to this daily low. It's a sharply downtrend here, and in the downtrend, what we can expect for the market to trend back below to this support level. We can see some kind of a breakdown here, and for us to find that sell entry, we will be looking for the market to initially bounce off that level and then to reject back again to the support level. As you can see, the market had significantly bearish move here in that area. We can see the price slowly building that momentum in that area and slowly started to drop back below. We will be looking for that market to potentially continue to trend down here to create a new lower low. All right, so you can see it's continuing to drop. All right, cool. You can see the market from this support level started to break above in that area. Now, as we can see, the price has got that rejection from this level with an impulse back to the upside here in this market, where the 1 hour price action from this support level has got that rejection back above, and where the market, if you look at here, you can see this is a resistance line, expecting the price to retest and then return again to this support level. Okay, so here the market is maintaining that downtrend, and what we are looking at here is for this market to potentially retest and then to return again to the major direction of the trend. So if the market is hitting the daily low, if you guys look at it, he's approaching the daily low here. From this daily low, we can expect return again to the major direction. This is what was waiting for the market to retest the daily low. Now, let's delete those lines, and we might be able to place a pending order here based on the market structure. And here is the current daily low. So if we look at, this is going to be a buy limit order here. So we'll be placing a buy limit from the daily low. If the market dropped to that daily low before it bounce off that level to retest, potentially to go back up again to the daily high, so which will be 3 to 1 reward to risk potential trade here. We'll be waiting for the market to drop down to that daily low. This is a buy limit. So we're looking at here for possible drop down to this daily support level, which is potentially a buy limit order. Xauusd buy limit at 3730.31 and stop loss at 3722.05. TP target 3755.37. waiting for potential drop down here back below to this support level. And if you look at from here, you can see that this is the move here, and that move cross here, expecting to drop down here to retest and then to potentially trend back up here from this daily low, waiting for the market to come down, had retest and then to reject back to the major direction of the trend. From the 15 minutes that you can see, this is a big long wick candle here, and here's the market structure that you can see it's maintaining that low. And with this market structure, that the market to break that low here, test that and then to return again to the major direction of the trend. So waiting for the market to test the daily low, that's where we want to enter the trade here in this market. Waiting for a potential drop to this daily support level and then to reject back again to the upside to create a new higher high in this market. welcome. And we can see the market is maintaining the downtrend here as long-term trend. If you guys look at, you can see this is the daily price, where from the daily market the price just has crossed the daily low, and from that retest, what we are expecting here, the market to potentially got that rejection back above, and our entry is at this level here in that zone for the market to retest and then to reject back again to the upside here in this market. We are carrying some downside that is expected and is approaching that support level where the market might have we might get a trigger here, and as this is the daily low, what we are expecting here after the trigger, the market to bounce off, and as this is a scalping setup, we will be taking profit fastest way possible from that level as soon as we see the market has hit that zone, and we will be taking the TP as fast as we can. Now if we look at the 1 hour price action, we can see the market is almost nearly there, approaching that entry potential to that support from the daily low, that expecting the price to potentially drop back below, retest that level, and then to enter as soon as we can get that trigger here. This is a key level of support that expecting the market to test and then to reject back again to the upside here in this market. You can see the market is approaching that level where there is a support being tested. We might see that push back down here to get a trigger. We are almost nearly there to the daily low, and we have only here how many pip, nearly to 80 pip stop loss for this trade to potentially to remain active. And come on, we have few, we need one more rejection back below for our trade to get trigger. It's a highly volatile market. Are you going to enter by market? Five minutes candle closed here, and for 1 pip it didn't trigger yet. Are you going to enter by market? Come on, we don't want to wait for that entry yet. This is ridiculous. Just for 1 pip it didn't trigger. Didn't trigger us for 1 pip yet. With the 1 hour candle close, didn't trigger us for 1 pip. Now the only option that we have is to enter. Alright, so you can see 1 hour candle close coming, which is rejection from here. Now I'll keep the entry still there. I'll still be waiting for 1 more drop and then to enter. It's very weird to see the market has just for 1 pip. The entry is now coming down for potentially another wave of drop, and what I think here, the market, it might drop down again for another wave of drop to retest that low, as this is the daily low here, or it may continue to rise back here to this key level of resistance line. And we see some kind of price action is being created. So with the 1 hour candle close, we will be waiting to see how the market structure is being forming, and then based on that we can look for, even if we need to enter by market along the way, we can do that. So from the 5 minutes we can see that a bearish rejection here, and 1 hour candle closed, which is, if you look at here, you can see this is a 1 hour bear candle, expecting it to come back here to cross that low. That's where you will get the trigger. We are still pending or is on, and now if the market cross that low, if this market reject from this level, from this zone, we might see straight going back up to this high here, 3755 level. Okay, expecting a downside here. That's where you will have a high probability setup for if the market breaks that low, which is the daily low, to be broken again, and that's where you have a higher probability for this market to go ahead and retest that daily high again after break of this low. So our entry is exactly in the same place, waiting for this market potentially to revert back below here. If you're enjoying the live session, guys, make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every day. We can see that rejection back below. We are waiting for that entry. The pending order is on, and if the market cross that low here, we will be on the trade for this potential break above, and that's what we're waiting to see the market to come back here, cross that low, test that low, grab the liquidity, and then to potentially reject back above here in this market. And if we can catch the full move here, if the market drop back below here, which is, we can see some downside here with a potential rejection, it's gonna be almost 250 pip potential move back up here, which gonna be pretty big move once the market managed to create that rejection from that level. Looking at the 5-minute chart here, that you can see closing as a doji. The market still didn't cross that daily low. Okay, you can see the market is coming to fill that area here, pushing that price potentially back below to that support, and getting that rejection back above. So that means the market potentially may continue to rise here from this daily support level as we discussed. And in the meantime, traders, if you're enjoying the live session, make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel, which we haven't done yet. Thank you. And you can see that this is 15 minutes price action here. What expecting the market to test and then to return again back above here. And we are looking to see, you can see it's carrying the rejection here. So 5 minutes market structure that showing up. So it formed this inward head and shoulder here. So that means we see back to back two smaller gap open. Is there news coming up later today? There is no final GDP 3.8% growth. So that has impact, definitely a positive impact on, if we look at how the DXY has reacted to those news here. We can see that's where the market was bullish, and you can see it bounce off that level on DXY to strengthen, which is basically weakens the gold, and it might go for little sideways movement. The 15 minutes candle that you can see, if we look at, closed as a doji here, and as the pending order is still on there. If we look at the daily, we can see the price potentially to cross the daily low and then to retest back again the daily high. This is what I'm waiting for, a potential setup. If you guys look at, you can see the 5 minutes candle closing as a bearish candle has formed with a multiple liquidity trigger here from this 5 minutes 10 EMA. The market has had a rejection back below, and which is coming back to this potentially to this support level from this 10 EMA. It's getting the rejection back, expecting it to come back well below here to this support level. Closed already. Now we see that it's getting reaction back below here. Now if this 50 minutes candle closing within this range, we might see the market to bounce of this level which you are looking at. Our trade didn't still, the first one didn't trigger for just for 1 pip. Now what we are looking at here, guys, that the market to retest that support, overextend below, and then to have a bigger bounce. So we see the market is coming again to our entry, and if the trade triggers that, I would like to hold it for the full 250 pip possible if the market get us that entry. And I want to take that entry from here actually, so that we can have that potential bounce of that level. The 15 minutes market structure that's showing up to be here in that area, bearish, and expecting it to break that low. Here is the market structure showing up for that zone to be potentially to retest that level and then to reject again back above here. Okay, we can see some rejection. The candle close on the 15 minutes chart here on and as you can see, this is a now closed as a doji. We're expecting that the market to possibly retest again here to this support level and then to create a new higher high in this market. Welcome back to this another live session, traders. Hope that you're enjoying the live session. Make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. We are waiting for a potential breakup support to get an entry here for that upside move, potentially from this daily low. As if we look at the 1 hour, we can see the candle closed, and that is where the market structure is showing up for that potential drop back below here and then to rebound again back to the upside. It's a very tiny, very narrow consolidation here that you can see, and if we look at the daily level, we can see the market slowly building the momentum on that daily support, and from the okay, so you can see the price slowly building that upside momentum here. The possibility for this price to potentially go back up higher is higher, and we see didn't trigger us for 1 pip, and might go back up again for upside bias here, and this is a pretty, looks like market is up. Yes, we are in that bullish bias. We are in that bullish bias here. The market is up, absolutely. So with this move that you can see on the lower time frame, got that rejection, it might now potentially go back up to the high here. And from the 4 hour, we can see the rejection from the daily. So the market structure here is now bullish, turned to a bull market, and so it's in a bullish move, and this is where for us to get a re-entry without come on, it just took that 1 pip away from this level. And the market does this sometime because of the spread gap. Did anyone had that trigger during that time period? So here is what we can see, trying to push back again above that level, where from this support level, pushing that price back above. Now for us to get on the way, if we want to enter along the way of this move, as it is keep pushing back above, we might see the price to go back up to 3753 level. So it in fact started move. Welcome. Yeah, this is a bullish move, and it is potentially going back up here now to this 4 hour resistance line. Most likely we'll see that. Yeah. And the plan was from this level to 300, 250. It is going that level potentially. And if you look at the 1 hour price action here, you can see that from 30 minutes as well, this is bullish candlestick pattern. And potentially now this market to breaking that high, and we might see the price to go back up to potentially to cross 3753 level, but I'm not entering yet. Again, here was our entry, and now let the this candle close here. Once we see the market restructure, after cross of this high on the 5 minutes chart, we might see a break of structure. This is the 1 minute chart. You can see this is a break of structure here in that area, and we can see that this is a pretty massive upside impulse here, and here the market slowly trying to build that momentum, expecting it to cross back below and then to react back again to the upside, where from this support level expecting the market to trend in the major direction here. All right, so with that break here, guys, you can see the market slowly trying to build that momentum back below, and that drop that we are seeing here is potentially to come back here to that level, to this support level. Okay, the entry, as you can see here, is there, still maintaining the same entry. So market coming to the daily support again, that we are looking at. The market structure, again, we see that after this move, it has broken from the structure here and maintained an upside bias from this level. This is a significant support level. Okay, so the candle closed on the 30 minutes. If you guys look at it, you can see this is a long week on both sides. Now, as the market has got a rejection from the daily support level, my bias here in this market is still upside from this support level. So once the market managed to break below further, we can look for still bullish opportunity. Would like to see the price breaking that low so that it can gain enough momentum here for this potential upside bias here in this market. Here is the level that you can see the price to potentially come back below here to this support level. we are looking at here for another support test, and here is the market slowly trying to push the price back below here, where we might see that to retest that low. 4-hour candle close coming in a couple of minutes, and we can see the price to break that low. This is the daily low that we were waiting for, that entry. And here is 1-hour market structure showing that potentially dodgy. My pending origin is still there. If the market drop back below to that support, you will still be entering into the trade from this daily breakdown. Patience is key here, guys. We are waiting for that entry that to trigger. Now with the 15 minutes close, the market again dropped to that 15 minutes support. Now our entry criteria here to cross that intraday support, which is also the daily support level. And if the market, if you look at the 4-hour candle, you can see it's a big bear candle. If the market crossing that low here, we potentially could see another bounce back up, especially if you look at this is the 4-hour doji here. This 4-hour doji is a high liquidity zone, and if the market crossing this candle directly back below here, closing above, chances for this market to go up to that resistance line is very high, and that's where we are looking at the high probability trade setup for the market to test that low and then to return again back in the major direction of the trend. Trend is key here, that we are looking for entry in the major direction of the trend. Thank you for joining here. Chart for daily today looks like market is bullish. Yes, we are on anyone on the trend. Thank you very much. Yes, the market is bullish and we are looking into the entry from that level. Now always trading with the trend is the best idea. No matter what, we always look for trade with the trend in the major direction of the trend. The market tested the low here, and takes a little time to load that EMS. $3730.19 entry. Buy limit is still on, and stop loss at 3722.05. 3722.05. So this is our current pending order, exactly in the same place, is still remaining, and the market is now breaking back below to that level. So where we saw that from that level it moved to 142 pip, and the market again coming back below. So here is the daily low, 4-hour close coming in few minutes, and what expecting here, the market to test that 4-hour low again potentially, and then to return back in the major direction. So it took a lot of time to reload the chart. So this is the 1 minute chart that you can see the market potentially to cross that low. This is what I'm expecting. I'm not entering by market. I'm still waiting for the market to drop. Patience again is where make the big difference. And still there is a full risk management. The market still could come back for deeper liquidity grab, but here is waiting for that the price to test that low, nearing there here, and boom, that's that. We are on the trade, guys. I'm on the trade, and this is a buy trade. Now the trade is active, waiting for a potential rejection above here. Now because it's a daily support break, will not take very long here. As soon as we see good profit running, we will be taking the trade. Now at the moment it's trying to break below the daily low, and where there's a fair value gap. Okay, it just tested that low, and now we're expecting a rejection back above. Cool, it's carrying up. We are on the nearing to the profit zone, and okay, cool, getting some reaction. We are at entry, getting into the profit zone, guys. I'm still holding on to the trade. I'm still holding on to the trade and want to see that it's getting significantly bounce from that level. And if the market bounce off that level to the upside, to the major direction, we could see straight going back up to daily high. So I'm waiting for the market potentially to go back up to the daily high here. as there is a fair value gap in this area. Are you seeing a reversal pattern here? Below the support, expecting a reversal pattern. If it form a reversal here, the previous daily low is here. Okay. So the 4-hour candle close coming, and also there is a 15 minutes candle closing, and this is a pretty massive break below. Now this is where to see if the market is continuing back below here or pushing back above. Right. So this is a doji that you can see has formed now. From the 4-hour, if we look at, this is big drop here. Now before the candle close, can we expect a potential rejection back above here? This is a big drop here on the 4-hour. It may still continue to drop to break that previous daily low, but depending on how the market structure now is building, if it is getting a rejection here, this is a very low price here for today, and we might see the market to go ahead to retest the daily high. It's a crucial price level at the moment. Showing further bearish here. So in the first move, Okay, that's gonna be potentially little strongly bearish here. I'm still on the trade. There's a so I'm still on the trade. My stop loss at 3. It might not retain, so we need to see where the candle is closing. Okay, so the trade is on. I'm still on the trade as my stop loss is at 3722.05, and if the trade retains, you will be still on the trade. So I'm still on the trade. We'll be waiting to see where it is heading to. I think I set the same stop loss for everyone, 3722.05. Are you guys on the trade? So can you update here? I have sent out the same signal in the VIP group as well. Might be going to the order block. There is a bigger fair value gap. From the daily support level that we can see, the market is showing that pattern here, and market restriction is bearish, so it's most likely we'll see the market to remain downside, but unless it's getting a sharply bounce off that level. Okay, we see some bounce coming up here. Is that okay? It's not gonna remain. We got out with the trade. It's pushing back from here, so this is a, if you look at the lower time frame, so what we can see from this level, guys, that the market with the 4-hour close, potentially to, if we look at the daily here, you can see the market just crossed the daily low. It's forming an inverted head and shoulder here in that area, and which is the sign of the market to reverse from here as the daily low, or if you look at it, you can see it's now that break below is to this support level, and 4-hour close coming. This is a complete breakdown on a single session, right? And we saw that with the optimistic data on DXY has given the momentum. We see DXY is pushing back up, so that bounce off on DXY, which is mirroring on gold, and we might see that potentially to remain further bearish here as the market has broken from the high, and that bearish price action that we can see reflected on the lower time frame in gold. There might be now some pullback in this market. If you look at the 1 hour, complete bearish price action and higher volatility. So if you look at here, you can see it's on a trend line, gold on a long-term support level, right? So from this long-term support, the market still can bounce off that level to the upside for another potential breakout, or we could see that this market to trend down to create a new lower low. So as you guys can see, the market sentiment is changing here. You can see there is a significant change in the market sentiment, and until we see the directional bias, we could see, if you look at daily, you can see the market completely has broken from the high. Now to break this daily support, it requires really stronger liquidity as long-term trend is up. So from that resistance line here, expecting gold to potentially continue to drop, or we could see another wave of bounce back to the daily high here, depending on how the market structure is being created. So with the progression of the session, guys, this is Thursday, we are almost entering into the Friday in my zone. So this is another trading week. We are spending pretty high volatility due to the fundamental factor, waiting for some great setup also later today. We had 2 sessions today. Tomorrow also have coming up 2 sessions. If you guys enjoying this session, make sure you stay connected by joining the channel, by subscribing to the channel. And okay, so for those who you haven't received the course detail, it should be sent to your email. If you haven't, then there is a website login probably in your email. You can check that on, and then you can access that from there. If more information, you can speak with the admin. We'll be able to help you to get more access and everything from that area. So that being said, guys, it was a great day with all of you trading together. Another trading day coming up soon. We'll be looking to trade again in the upcoming days. That being said, thanks for joining here. I'll see you again very soon trading live together. Until that, stay well, stay happy.